It's a pleasure to see each and every one of you. Thank you, Rudy, for that introduction. Good to see you, Mike. And thank you, Bill, for hosting. I'm happy to come to your pets, District 7080, with which we have my own club, has a long connection. I see my friend, past Governor Doug Vincent here from Woodstock, Oxford. We've done quite a few heart surgery and eye hospital projects together. And good to see all of you, my dear movers and shakers of Rotary. You are the movers and I'm Shekhar. So let's all the presidents elect, let's move and shake up Rotary. Let's first shake it up as far as membership is concerned. Oh, for 17 years, I've been hearing our membership is at 1.2 million. When I became the president of my club, it was 1.2 million. 10 years later, when I was the governor, it was still at 1.2 million. 10 years later, when I became the director on the board of directors, it was still at 1.2 million. Again, 10 years later, when I became the president, I was elected as president, it is still at 1.2. We need to change that. And I tell you, together we can change that. Simple mantra, each one bring one. As simple as that. When I've asked these questions to more than 20,000 Rotarians everywhere, and the answer all over the world has been yes. Over the next 17 months, and I'm now asking you this question, over the next 17 months, how many of you will bring just one member to Rotary? Just one member. Will you raise your hand, please? One member to Rotary in the next 17 months. And who says North America is not growing in membership? I see each one of you raising your hand. Let's remember this promise that we are making. We are making a promise. We will each bring one and we'll lead by example. We not only will bring one, we will ask every member in our club to do so. So just as I asked you to raise your hand, how about you doing a Zoom meeting with all your club members and asking each and every one of them? And you know, normally I take a picture of that screen just for the fun's sake, and I put it on that group. Last week, I was during the International Assembly, I was on a Zoom call with all the past presidents of Rotary International. About 10, 12 of them were there. I asked them the same question. So what if you are a past president in the next 17 months, will you bring a member? And I was so happy. All of them raised their hands. So my dear incoming presidents, if we want to change, if you want to become the change maker presidents, just as Rudy is going to be the change maker governor, then I request you, cajole you, urge you, please go back to your clubs and ask them to do just this one thing. Each one bring one. Not a tough task. Even as we do that, let's get younger members to clubs. Let's get female members to clubs. Let there be diversity in our clubs. DEI has become one of the most important things, and diversity, of course, is a core value of Rotary. So let's have diversity in our clubs. And even as members are coming in, let us ensure that we retain by engaging them. While we are going to get so many members, because just now I see about 45 of you, now 50 of you have said, yes, you will get a new member. And imagine you going to each of your clubs and asking them. I'm sure there are going to be a lot of members. You probably have nearly 1,500 members in your district. Well, let's try at least 750, assuming 50% at least will succeed. Here, 100% of you have succeeded. And if we are able to do that, let's also ensure that they are engaged. We can retain them. The idea is not to welcome them from the front gate and let them slip out of the back gate. That's not the idea. Another thing I encourage you to do is grow Rotary by starting new clubs. Friends, it's possible. In today's times, the virtual world has become a reality. And I think there is tremendous scope for virtual clubs in near future. I see that the world has become a village now. Just a few days back, my own district had a new club with 125 members from across the world. There are cause-based clubs that you could start. 25 people, 30 people who are interested in water issues, they could come together and form a cause-based club, which does projects of water across the world. There are passport clubs, there are satellite clubs that you could start. Hybrid clubs. I want to go back to my own club and say, let's become a hybrid club. 2 meetings in person, 2 meetings virtually, which means even young members who are traveling will be able to attend our club meetings. Or every club meeting to be a hybrid meeting where we are in person at the same time virtually also. So there is huge scope for growth of membership. I keep saying, grow more and do more. So if we grow more, I tell you, we will be able to do more. Do more in bigger, better, bolder service projects. Friends, I joined Rotary when I was only 25 years old. Service was the last thing on my mind. But as I got involved in my club, and in fact, I had baptism by fire. Very soon that I became a member, they asked me to do this, that, and I got engaged into the club. And then they took me to a club project. At that club project, it was an artificial limb camp that was there, and all the members were given a responsibility. We were giving away calipers and hand cycles, and we were fitting artificial limbs to people who were coming. And my job was to see that the people who are going to get those hand cycles, they have enough strength in their hands to be able to paddle that cycle with their hands because they had no legs. So I said, okay, I'll do that. How would I do that? I said, I'll hold their hand and ask them to pull the hand so I would come to know how much strength they have. So it was fine. I went and stood where I had to. And then I was ready to wait for the first person to come in. But then suddenly I see this person crawling. He did not have hands. He did not have legs. So he had to crawl. And his hands were soiled. And as he stretched out his hand and I stretched out mine, I was a little uncomfortable. I was thinking of myself. I was thinking of my cleanliness. His situation was not coming to my mind at all, but grudgingly, I had to hold his hand. The first, second, third, the third hand, fourth hand, I still had that feeling. I was still thinking of myself. But probably by the seventh, eighth hand, suddenly my issues had gone back and their plight became more important to me. I could feel their pain. I could understand their situation. And friends, that was probably the day when from just being a member of a Rotary Club, I became a Rotarian. I could understand what the issues of other people were. Life to me otherwise was so very comfortable. I never knew what pain for other people was. Rotary taught me to care for others, think of others before I could think of myself. And it is these projects which taught me this. I'm sure each one of you has experienced at one time or the other where you have got great satisfaction out of helping people, out of caring for them, out of sharing with them, out of thinking of them before you thought of yourself. These projects for you could have been small projects or large projects. I always say it is the attitude that's more important, not the size of the project alone. So Gandhi was once traveling, and as he was traveling, he was getting up on a train. As he got up on the train, one of his slippers, he used to wear very ordinary clothes, so his slipper fell down. His immediate reaction was, as the train started moving, to take off his other slipper and throw it where the previous one had fallen. His friend asked, but why did you do that? He said, someone is going to get that slipper. No use for that person. So let me make it of some use to that other person. Now, I think it's a very small act of service, but a big attitude of service. So we each day find some opportunity or the other to be able to help other people. And as we help other people, we change their lives. So the theme for the next year, for the coming year, for all of us is going to be serve to change lives. One person at a time, one community at a time, one city at a time. And if you have bigger, bolder, and better projects, one country at a time. And that's something that I would again request of you. An organization which is now 116 years old, which is spread in more countries than are members of the United Nations, for an organization which has the legacy of nearly eradicating only the second vaccine preventable disease ever to be eradicated from the face of the earth. Our organization should do bigger, better, bolder projects. Projects that will have such a great impact on the community that people say, wow, Rotary has a role to play in our nation building process. And I'm not exaggerating. We've done this with polio. I mean, if it is in mankind's history another disease only to be eradicated, I think we have changed the course of health in this world. We have saved more than 19 million children from either getting paralyzed for their life or from in fact dying. It's as good as averting the Third World War. So I take Rotary very philosophically. To me, they are not 10 heart surgeries. They are 10 lives changed altogether. Similarly, not 100 people got eye surgeries done, but 100 people are able to see this world again. To me, Rotary is an amazing organization where we get tremendous opportunity of helping other people. And so when you probably live in a country where there are not too many opportunities of being able to do service around you. But in today's world, the world is small now. I mean, in one day, I remember I was in 5 different continents. I started my day with speaking to the people in the US. Little later, I was in Nigeria. Then I was in Nepal. I was in Korea. And then in the evening, I was in South America. So when you are next time doing a project, and Doug, if you are doing the heart surgery program next time, do it in a country in Africa. Maybe do it in Bolivia. Do it in Nigeria. Last week, we got 2 children coming from Nigeria to India for getting their heart surgeries done. Next time you do a project there, when 10 children have got their heart surgeries done, ask that local club to get all those 10 children to a Zoom call and talk to those children. Next time when your club, Tom or Nagwa or Larry or Clinton or Linda, any of you is doing a project somewhere else in the world, maybe somewhere in Africa where you are sinking borewells and water is gushing out of those borewells, ask them to go to their homes and show you those pictures live on a Zoom call. When the water gushes out, I tell you, you'll have goosebumps. Or you would have changed lives for those people altogether, sitting halfway across the world. Even as I tell you, I'm having goosebumps. Friends, that is the power that we have of bringing smiles onto the lives of people, of changing their lives altogether. So friends, let's not miss this opportunity. And as incoming presidents of your Rotary Club, let me tell you, it's an amazing, amazing year you're going to have. I now remember Rashi and I 30 years back had experienced this. It's one of the most memorable years we have had in our lives. We got the opportunity of helping directly and also inspiring others to be able to help people. So will be this your opportunity of grow more and do more. So do lead by example. Have a large vision, big dreams. I always feel we are accomplished people, all of us, leaders in our lives. We need to have big dreams. As I mentioned, a big organization, such legacy, so many years behind us, our dreams have to be large. Chisel those dreams with your vision. That vision where you have the ability of seeing beyond what normally people would see. And of vision, whenever I think of vision, I think of Walt Disney. What vision that man had. He saw a mouse and he had the vision of creating the Disney world, all behind a Mickey Mouse. Vision is when an apple falls from a tree and Newton discovers the law of gravity. He doesn't just pick up the apple, polish it, and starts eating it. He thinks, why? And then the vision comes. I think each one of us has a vision where we are able, as leaders of your club, you have the vision greater than others. That's why you are the leader, and use that vision to chisel your dreams and bring out the plans for the year. Well planned is half done, they say, and I strongly believe in it. With your plans, set your goals. Extremely important to set goals. I remember when I was just becoming the district governor, my trainer said, okay, Shekhar, so what are your goals? I started by saying, I want to be a very successful governor. He said, Shekhar, that's not a goal. Go set your goals. And I went back home. For the first time in my life, I set goals. I decided what is it that I wish to achieve in this much of time and these many numbers. Some of them were crazy goals. And I would request you to please have crazy goals. This organization has always had crazy goals. Was it not crazy for some people to get up 35 years back and say, we'll eradicate polio? Nothing short of being crazy. And imagine it's taken 35 years. If today, Amolak, you had to take a decision, or Kathleen or Louis or Michael, you had to take a decision where 35 years it will take for a program, and in the 34th year, you will still have to raise $2 billion. Would you take that program up today? So we have to take some crazy decisions. Our dreams have to be big. Our thoughts have to be crazy. Our goals have to be stretch goals. Your goals, which, darling, you will not be able to complete in the year. But Adrian and Leslie, your goals will have to be stretch goals. So I will be not a successful president if I finish everything on 30th June and say, wow, I've done my job. Oh, you didn't dream big enough. I think we all will be successful if our dreams are left a little unfulfilled for the others to complete them. The person who sows the seeds does not enjoy the fruits. We don't need to enjoy the fruits necessarily, but we need to sow the seeds, and seeds enough for there to be a forest, absolutely. So friends, we have the power to do it. Let's go ahead, do it. So let our dreams be big. Let's have our vision be there, and a positive attitude, large goals, goals that others have not thought of. So I've always been inspired by what George Bernard Shaw said. He said, you see things as they are and ask why. I dream of things that never were and ask why not. So that's what we need to do. A ship is safe in the harbor. That's not what ships are meant for. We need to go into the high seas. Life, my friends, is about adventure, not about maintenance. So let's all plan big. Let's go out. Let's set our goals, delegate our goals to our club members, inspire them, motivate them. And together, let's change lives by serving people. It's been a pleasure coming and speaking to you. But next time, I would like to see each and every one of you in your city. Thank you.
Thank you, President-elect Mehta, for all of your comments today. I'm going to ask Mike Lowry to say a few closing comments. Mike.
Thank you, Bill. Shekhar, we all bring our vocation to serve and to serve through Rotary. And with your vocation as an accountant, it is appropriate that you shared some numbers with us. And I just wanted to highlight those. Those numbers say that by July 22, you would like us to have 1.3 million Rotarians to do service on this earth. You also said that the math of doing that can be quite simple. Each one, bring one. We are all membership committees. I want to just close with a few quotes, one of yours, which I think you might say, did I say that? How wise it is. Service is the rent I pay for the space I occupy on this earth. How moving. That is really quite profound. And finally, I think we all, through Rotary and our deep history, honor and revere Paul Harris. And Paul Harris, of course, is our founder. Each year has a different message, serve to change lives. What a wonderful theme you have brought But Paul Harris said this: Rotary changes us and those we serve. I believe we can change the world one life at a time. When we normally close at a Rotary meeting, if we were meeting in person, there would be hugs and handshakes and so on. But we have introduced in this district an Eastern tradition. As we say thank you and goodbye, we say namaste, I bow to you.
Namaste. Thank you very much. What a pleasure it has been to be with all of you. Thank you so much.